Hey guys, it's Miss Ray, and we are doing homework. I know I can hear your groans all the way from over here and a day in advance, so I can sense you in the future groaning. But I hope the fact that we're doing it together makes it a little easier. And the fact that I've had to record this 4 times within the last 30 minutes, I think I've done the most work so far. But I'm really excited for everybody that's subscribed, that is joining in with me. I'm just really excited that I get to work through this text with you. Today we read The Color of Water, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. There's so much to unpack in this text, and I just think this is a really great way to kick off the year after Stargirl, hitting you guys with some that has a little more punch into it that'll really get you guys thinking. It's culturally relevant. It's something you can take home. And I really hope your parents join you as we read this text, because I would love for you to come back tomorrow with some of their thoughts and perspectives on this issue. All right. So what you need your text, of course, that's on the screen. Interracial Dating Exposes Divide. I would love it if you had out your Color of Water story that we read today in class, because we are going to reference it as we're reading this text. So what do readers do? When readers read, they're asking themselves questions. Do I agree with this? Can I make a connection to my own life? Do I have questions? If I could pull up Ruth, or if I could talk to Peter, or if I could talk to the person that wrote this text, what would I ask? What do I need more clarification about to really grasp what they're trying to get me to understand? So enough of all of the rigmarole, but let's go ahead and jump right into the text. I would love it if you read it with me, if you read it out loud. I think it would help you, especially for those of you who struggle with certain words, pronunciation, or just reading in general. I think it would really help you if you read it with me at the same time. I will be stopping because I'm going to be talking through the text. I'm going to be asking questions, and I'm going to be writing my questions. So it would behoove you to write what I write, underline what I underline. In the end, you choose what questions you want to ask. I'm just modeling for you how I think and how I process, and eventually you guys will be pros at it by the end of the year, or by the time we go to Christmas. That's my hope. All right, let's get started. Interracial Dating Exposes Divide. So, Luke, a white seventh grader, believes his parents would not be supportive if he dated an African American girl. Honestly, I don't think my parents would be too happy, because if you marry a black girl, you're connected to their family now, he said, adding, and who knows what her family is really like. Okay, so I got a question for Luke. I'm going to underline this, and I would like you to do that too. Or if you have a highlighter, that'd be easier. What does he think black families are like? Could he be influenced by social media, television, movies? What does he think black families are really like? That is something I would wonder. And notice, this isn't what his parents are saying. This is what he thinks. So I would wonder, what does he really think about black families? So Jimmy, a black seventh grader, recounted that after he had several white girlfriends, his parents seemed to interpret it as an affront to his own race. They said, "Why not your own kind? Because all my girls have been white," he said, adding, "It's not like they were like, you need to choose a black girl. It's just they were asking me why I liked white girls. And I was just like, there's no specific reason." Okay. So I'm going to highlight this last piece. And Jimmy, I want to know what makes white girls different from black girls, in his opinion. Because there is a reason why he's dating only white girls. I just want to know why. No issue, just want to know why. I think that would clear things up for me. Let's see here. Their stories highlight a divide not between the races, but between the generations. Many students reported discouragement of interracial dating from their parents and those of their friends, with reactions ranging from wariness to outright forbiddance. The architect of AC360 study, renowned child psychologist Dr. Melanie Killen, says parents of both white and black kids have a lot of anxiety about the prospect of interracial dating. Killen, who was hired as a consultant for the study, contends the trepidation from parents can have a profound negative effect on their children's friendships and their racial attitudes as a whole. Parents of young children do not often send messages about we can all be friends with everybody, but by adolescence, that's the age that you guys are at. They start getting more nervous about this and they start thinking, well, you should be friends with people like you or us, said Killen. She added that parents' ultimate fear is often that their children will marry another race. While interracial couples are a source of conflict for some families, interracial marriage is on the rise in America. So, my question, what I'm thinking is, so when parents do not necessarily agree with interracial friendships or even relationships, it has a negative effect. I'm going to think about Ruth in our The Color of Water. So I'm just going to use TCOW, The Color of Water. Ruth's father. If we look in paragraph 1, the bottom of paragraph 1, she says that her father would have killed Peter if he found out about the relationship, right? And if you remember in the introduction that you read today, she ran away from home. So the fact that she did not have her parents' support really spoke volumes. And so it really caused a divide within her family. And we really don't know unless we, read the book and found out what happened. But we don't know if she ever went back home. We don't know if she ever had a relationship. We don't know if the grandchildren ever got to meet their family. We just don't know. And so I feel like when there's no support, there's a need to have lives and secret relationships and all these other things. And there was a lot of violence during that time. Again, this text was in the 1930s. And it was really dangerous for interracial relationships at that time. Let's see. Do I have a question? Okay. So right here, while interracial couples are a source of conflict for some families, what is the conflict? Is it culture differences? Is it religion? What is the conflict? It's not clear, but I would like to know what the conflict is because we see so many mixed couples, interracial couples. I mean, Prince Harry just married an African American woman this summer. So that was pretty big. Let's see. I would like to know what the conflict is, what the issues are. So I would love it if this doctor would present those, and maybe we can even come up and look up some on our own. Bonus points to whoever looks up what interracial relationships have conflicts or what conflicts cause. What are the conflicts within interracial relationships? You can totally Google that. I would love it if you came to class with that tomorrow. It would be really great. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. According to a recent report by the Pew Research Center, using the most recent census data, 8.4% of marriages are interracial compared to just 3.2% in 1980. And in 2010, a full 15.1% of all new marriages were interracial. So even though it's creating conflict in most families, people are still doing it. So just like Ruth and Peter, who fought for the love that they wanted, others are doing it as well and not really caring about what other people think. So I have a question. Here we go. even though there is a there are risks, even though there are risks, why do people still engage in interracial relationships? Does love conquer all? Is it worth it? So, Anderson Cooper and Soledad O'Brien interviewed a panel of parents whose children participated in the AC360 study and were vocal about the issue of interracial dating. Okay. The father of Luke, the white middle schooler, said his son might have gotten the wrong impression from a conversation he and his wife had had about Luke's older daughter. She informed me she had started going out with an African American young man at her school, a young man that we knew and that we liked a lot. And it wasn't that we didn't so much want them dating because of race per se. We didn't know if she had really thought about some of the cultural differences, there we go again, that there may be. And so we talked about it in that respect. Not that it's wrong, right or wrong, good or bad, just different. And so here we hit those cultural differences. What are the cultural differences that can separate us as people? What are the cultural differences? Why is it that deep? I want to know. They're still not saying. He also admitted that the issues facing friends in interracial marriages were at the forefront of his mind. They have great marriages. They also have shared challenges at times, challenges in the way families may relate, challenges that they themselves may have either between themselves or the perception of other people. We've talked about those kinds of things because they're real, said Gary. Okay. So he's worried about perception. Perception is how people might see you and how people might think about you because of your choices. So, are Gary's concerns valid? That's what I want to know. Is he right to worry about his daughter and how people might perceive him? The father of Jimmy, the black teen, said he's supportive of his son dating girls of any race, but his son slew, I love that word, it's my favorite word. Slew means many or a bunch. I love that word. I don't know why. Slew of white girlfriends did get him concerned. When you see your kid always steering towards a different race, you want to make sure that he doesn't have a problem with his own race. Because we'd never seen him with a black girlfriend, said Jimmy's father, also named Jimmy. Okay, I'm going to ask the same question. Is Jimmy's father concerns valid? Does he have a right to be concerned that his son only dates white girls? All right. Another black seventh grader who participated in the study, 13-year-old Shantae, admitted she and others in her extended family had a double standard regarding interracial dating. If I were to date a white guy, a lot of people wouldn't really have a problem with that. But if my brother were to bring home a white girl, there's definitely going to be some, controversy, she said. I think it's more of a problem for people when a black man brings home a white woman because it's been like that for years. Now, this one is a lot to unravel and dig out, and we don't have that much time to dig that out. But I would love it if you got your parents' perspective on this. This is a lot to unpack. So, what is the double standard? Is it okay if a black man dates outside his race? Is it okay if a black man dates outside of his race? I don't like that question. I don't like it. So, why is it acceptable for a black man to date outside of his race than a black woman? There we go. I like that question better. Why is it more acceptable? Shantae's mother, Crystal, said she'd support her children dating any race, but think her daughter's issue reveals concerns about whether black men view black women as inferior. Inferior means less than. I think when she speaks about it, about if her brother were to bring home a white girl, what it says, I think, to our kids, our black kids, is are we not good enough for our black brothers? What's wrong with us? What do they like? The silky straight hair? I can press my hair, said Crystal. Interesting. So, this last part, I wonder if Crystal, Shantae's mother, feels the same way as Jimmy's father. I wonder if that's the same concern. Okay, so we have chopped up this text and we've read it and we've asked questions. When I say we, I use that very loosely. These are my questions and my thoughts. But what I would love for you to do is to go back through the text. And I want you to ask your own 4 questions. Whether you would ask these questions to the parents of Luke, Jimmy, and Shantae, whether you would ask Shantae, Jimmy, and Luke questions, or whether you would ask the psychiatrist of Dr. Melanie Killing, what questions would you want to ask? What information do you need to know to really understand this whole issue of interracial dating? Why is this such a big issue? Why has it always been such a great divide? Did it start in the 1930s, in 1955? This is 2012, the article that we're reading, and now it's 2019. And so, when is this issue ever going to really go away? Has it gone away? We're going to be looking at that tomorrow. So, I would love to see your questions, and you will be sharing them tomorrow. So, please make sure you complete these 4 questions. Do not use mine. Come up with your own. I think that's it. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Goodbye.